Let's call the meeting to order, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
John, will you please do roll call?
I will. Annette Schreiner,
Here.
Bob Eyre,
Yes.
Jim Salsbury,
Yes.
Dick Long,
Present.
and Karen Ford.
Present. Thank you. We have Derek is going to say something here.
So, as most of you are aware, it was with great sadness, we want to share the news of Patrick Wilde's unexpected passing Sunday afternoon. Patrick was a valued member of the BMU team for about 15 years. He served in communication tech roles and also the customer service role. He was known for his unwavering dedication, his willingness to go the extra mile, and genuine desire to help anyone in need, and that extended both professionally and personally. His commitment left a lasting impression on both his colleagues and the wider community. He'll be deeply missed by all who knew him, his coworkers, his friends, his family, and the community that he served. At this time, I would like to ask everyone to join me in a moment of silence in honoring Patrick's life, his contributions to BMU, and most importantly, in support of his family and friends during this time. Thank you.
First on the agenda is to approve the minutes of the May 20th, 2025 meeting. Everyone has been presented with a copy of the minutes. Are there any changes to the way they have been written? If none, may I please have a motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
Dick?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
Annette?
Yes.
Bob?
Yes.
And Karen.
Yeah. Next on the agenda is a hearing of public concerns. Anyone here come to the podium? Okay. Seeing none. First on the agenda is a resolution. John, will you, sorry. Derek. Okay. John, will you please number and read?
I will. Resolution number 19, 2025, recommending Bryan City Council reject all bids received for the sale of the communications HFC system.
Derek.
So as previously authorized, we did advertise for bids for the potential sale. This was essentially the underground conduit of the HFC system. Bids were opened and received on May 15th. We received one bid, and that was in the amount of $236,977. After we opened the bid, we reviewed it, we evaluated it. We had some further internal discussions about it. And kind of based on those discussions, we would recommend that the board adopt this resolution to request City Council reject the bid, really due to the lower than expected bid amount, especially when you compare that bid amount to what it would cost to replace that conduit system today. We just feel like retaining the asset is a more responsible choice at this time. It does give us some flexibility in the future, for any other infrastructure needs. So if the board does approve this resolution, a similar one will be presented to council at their next meeting for consideration. So we'd be happy to take any questions or comments, but would request that you approve rejecting the bids.
So it's pretty much a given then that we'll just hang on to it? Or, I think.
Would
Would it be worth a second try down the road somewhere?
I think that's kind of our approach for the foreseeable future. We'll keep it, maintain it, and maybe sometime down the road we would entertain advertising for a bid again.
It's a little disappointing.
Would it take a lot to maintain it?
For the most part, there's not too many damages that happen to it, so
They do get hit.
they do from time to time. So
That's normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the proposal in itself was below what you guys were looking for?
it was lower than kind of what we expected. Yeah.
I mean, by a lot, like little, or?
mean, I think it was really unknown,
Okay.
so.
Yep.
Any more questions for Derek? May I have a motion to accept resolution number 19?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Bob?
Yes.
Dick?
Yes.
Annette?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
And Karen?
Next on the agenda is a resolution. John, will you please number and read?
Resolution number 2025. A resolution establishing a committee of the whole structure for the Bryan Board of Public Affairs.
So just a little bit of a follow-up from last meeting's discussion. This resolution would formalize the committee of the whole structure. Just a brief structure overview, all BPA members would serve as a member of every committee. One BPA member would be appointed as a chair of each committee, with the remaining 4 serving as committee members. Just kind of the frequency and reporting that we had talked about. Committees would meet in person on an as-needed basis, but we, as a staff, would also provide you with quarterly written reports or verbal reports, depending on the time of the year or the work that's happening at the utility. Question?
Any more comments on the committee as a whole? No? May I have a resolution to accept resolution number 20?
Annette, question.
Yes.
I see we have the 5 different committees.
Mhm.
How do we? Not sure what I want to ask you. Should we pick, or, because we kind of had talked about who was interested in what. Should we pick them now before we adopt that?
We have to adopt this first.
Oh, okay.
And then we're moving into a motion to appoint.
Excuse me, I jumped the gun. Sorry.
May I have a resolution to, a motion to accept resolution?
So moved, John.
I'll second.
Dick?
Yes.
Bob?
Yes.
Annette?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
And Karen?
Yes. Now. So as for the, next on the agenda is a motion to appoint BPA committee chairs. So Derek.
Yeah, so with the passage of that resolution, now would be the time to have a discussion on who would like to serve on what committee as the chair. Once you've kind of figured that out, by one motion, you can appoint all the chairs to all the committees.
Okay, so we have had some discussion. And Jim has indicated that he would like to become chair of the electric committee. Dick has expressed interest in water. Karen, finance. Bob, communications, and then I would be on the HR. Is this okay with everybody? Okay,
Could you repeat those ones for me?
certainly. Jim, electric. Karen, finance. Bob, communications. Dick, water. And then Annette, HR.
I apologize if I'd have read the agenda. I was seeing that on there, so I'm sorry.
That's fine, that's fine. If these appointments are acceptable, I would like a motion to accept the committee chairs.
I'll make a motion that we accept the committee chairs as read.
I'll second.
Karen?
Yes.
Bob?
Yes.
Annette?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
And Dick?
Yes.
Next on the agenda is a motion to cancel the regularly scheduled June 17th BPA meeting. Derek?
Just due to some scheduling conflicts, I would ask that the board consider canceling that meeting. At this time, I don't see any urgent needs or any pressing matters that might need the board's attention. But if something does come up, we'll be sure to go through the appropriate steps and reschedule the meeting.
I'll make a motion, we approve.
Second.
Jim?
Yes.
Dick?
Yes.
Annette?
Yes.
Bob?
Yes.
And Karen?
Yes. Next on the agenda is to effect the semi-monthly disbursements, so pay the bills. May I have a motion?
Make a motion to pay the bills.
I'll second.
Karen,
Yes.
Bob,
Yes.
Annette,
Yes.
Jim,
Yes.
and Dick.
Yes.
Next on the agenda is comments from BPA and staff. Derek.
Just one thing I wanted to follow up from the last meeting's discussion about the water improvement plan and the studies. We talked about the hydro study and the distribution system model. The board had expressed, the desire to see these started as soon as possible. We took a look at the capital budget. We looked at some of those projects, some of the timelines of those. I feel confident that we'll be able to start these studies probably around August. So I just wanted to give you that update. That's all I have.
Thank you.
Mayor.
A couple things since you won't have another meeting. The Jubilee and the Jubilee Parade are still scheduled for that end of June, so it will be June 21st for the Jubilee Parade. Look forward to seeing any and all of you there, and then the following weekend on the 28th will be the Day in the Park, where we will also be celebrating again our Top 5 Best Hometown Award. So we hope to see you guys out there at the amphitheater for that concert and the fireworks and Day in the Park festivities. Also, just keeping Patrick's family and BMU family in our prayers. If you guys need anything, you just have to let us know. It's really tragic news.
John.
Nothing else to add.
Mr. Betts. Joe. Mr. Metz. Paper. Karen.
Condolences to Patrick and Patrick's family. He'll be missed very badly.
Yeah, just thoughts and prayers with his wife and kids and the whole family. He was not only a extremely great employee, he was a friend, funny, witty. Gonna miss, I'm sure, as whole utility's gonna miss him. But just hope the best for his family. That's all I have.
Yeah, it's a heck of a loss. I worked with, in the 80s, I worked for General Telephone, and I worked with Patrick's mother, so I knew Pearl. And then when I started with the utility, after my time at the phone company, when we had coffee breaks, his sister worked at one of the coffee shops here in town, and we would see her on a regular basis. And then, of course, Patrick working for the utility. I don't think I ever talked to a cable customer that had contact with Patrick that didn't have good things to say about him. And the ironic thing for me was over the weekend, my neighbor across the street had her kids, she's an elderly lady, she had her kids there, were kind of cleaning their place up and trimming her trees and stuff for her, and she came over, her daughter came over and asked if we knew anybody that could trim the tree in her front yard, and I said, sure. I said, Patrick Weldy, and I gave her his number. And then it wasn't long after that, I got the phone call. So my wife called the neighbor's daughter to tell her that Patrick had passed, and she was going to find somebody, and she was about beside herself. She said, I just talked to him an hour ago, and she sounded fine. Strange things. That's all I got.
Bob.
May his memory be a blessing.
Deepest sympathies to his family, and may they carry on his living memory, and he will live again.
Absolutely.
So that is all we have for right now. So may I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So moved.
Second.
Dick?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
Annette? Bob?
Yes.
Karen?
Yes.